What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Tom and Joey Entertainment, a.k.a. TJENT. This is Real Talk with Tom and Joey, Game of Thrones edition for Season 7, Episode 4. What's the episode called?
Ooh.
Oh, it was something with blood.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon's Blood?
Dragon's Blood. There you go. We'll go with that.
Got it.
Speaking of, as always, I'm joined by Tom. Tom, how you doing?
Good. There's
Good.
a little bit of a change this time.
Just a little bit of a change.
Game of
As you
Thrones
can see,
edition, Ian edition.
Yes, Ian edition. This gigantic human being that we have sitting in the middle of our table
Easy.
is none other than my brother, Ian. Ian, what's happening?
It keeps it so real. I am so excited to be here and talk about Game of Thrones with the bros.
The bros.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be a
It's going to
blast.
be really good.
One more quick addition, though,
Yes.
that we have forgotten to mention.
Okay.
At the front of our monitors, well, the back of our monitors, the front for
yes.
them.
Oh, yes.
Can they see it?
We-
Can they see it in the camera on mine?
Yeah, they can see it. They can
Sick.
see it.
Sick.
We have our stickers.
Yes,
they
we
are
do.
they are officially rocking.
Came way faster than we thought,
Yes.
which is dope.
Probably like 5 days.
Yeah.
Dope. In all reality, they look good. Pumped. We'll get them to you. Thank you.
And if you want your sticker, sort us on patreon.com. I don't know where I'm going to put the link, but I'm going to put it somewhere because it's not going to be on Ian's face. So maybe we'll just put it right above Ian.
I kind of hope that you just do slap it across
Yeah,
my face.
just slap it across Ian's face.
I don't matter right now. All that matters is the promo. Dude.
Just screw it, exactly. And if you're listening to us on podcast form on iTunes, you can go to patreon.com/TJENT, and we are running a special throughout Game of Thrones Season 7 where if you donate $1, $2, $5, or $10, if you get your
Or more.
reactions, or more.
Or more.
Or if you just want to give us
Just saying.
shitloads of money. We'll talk about as much as you want. You can put your post by Monday around 5:36. Usually is about the time we record our usual reactions, and we will get you on the show, and we'll talk about your reactions and a little housekeeping to begin with.
Yes.
We were a little late this week. As you can see, it's a special occasion. Ian came to town. My other brother came to town along with my two adorable nephews, and we went camping 2 nights ago.
Real rough.
Yeah.
Real roughin'.
It
where,
was
where were we is the real question.
yeah.
Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Lake
So-
Michigan
somewhere
on the dunes.
Somewhere on Lake Michigan on the dunes. We had a
Little
great time.
Sand cove.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we were unable to record our usual schedule, so we're going to put Game of Thrones a little later. It's not going to go up at noon.
you know
seeing
what would
how
have made
it's
that trip
1
a
o'clock
lot
right
better?
now.
S'mores.
Oh,
dude.
God.
S'mores would have
Dude,
been really
the more you
good.
say it, the more it burns my heart.
Ian forgot the s'mores.
I
Yeah.
said I was going to bring s'more stuff like 3 hours before we left the house. We get to the camping spot, we land the kayaks, and I say, damn it. Everybody looked at me, thought I forgot something. And it wasn't like a knife. It wasn't anything to start a fire. It was something way more crucial. It was the graham. It was the chocolate. It was the mallow.
The mallow.
And we
mallow.
didn't get to scarf it.
Shove our faces full.
Yes. So that's why we were a little late, but this is not going to be a frequent thing. We're going to get back on schedule
Yes.
soon enough. So without further ado, as always, let's swan dive into these reactions. So, first scene goes to Highgarden, Jaime and Bronn exiting Highgarden with the ridiculous amounts of gold that they got from
Oh, my God.
Lady Olenna and House Tyrell. That
Mucho,
they were
mucho
So
bucks.
much.
so much gold that they sent it back to King's Landing to pay off the Iron Bank.
And
So-
get a new army.
Yes, the Gold Army,
Yes.
as you read about, right?
Yes.
Okay, so pretty much, there's not a whole lot to do with the scene. Kind of just setting the stage, probably for later in the episode. But it really shows at least the first part of Bronn's want for gold and just a castle, obviously, specifically.
Yes. But he's not, like Jamie said in the episode, though, he's not a lord. He's not a lead of any house. So he can't just, like, put a mercenary in charge of a castle. Like, Jamie didn't feel like doing that.
Yeah.
So you just chalk the guy a bunch of gold, and then he... So I think in that scene is that it was the initial battle of... Because you see later in the episode where he drops the gold, and he's like, oh, do I go for the gold, or do
Right.
I run away? And that's, like, the first start of where you see him as a character go... finally really just hit that fork in the road of, am I a mercenary or am I a good dude?
Yeah, because I mean,
Right.
throughout the entire show, he's always been a sellsword.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And yeah, I think it just develops Bronn as a character more so than anything.
Yeah.
And they obviously brought him back for a purpose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Who-
he's still around.
I've always liked him too.
yeah,
so-
he's
same here.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude, good comic relief, and he's a badass.
And just like the Hound, he's true to himself. Like
Yes.
he is a sellsword. He's never pretended to be anything he's not. He's just been like, you know what? I just want chicks. I want power. I want a castle. I want money. That's who I am.
That's what it is.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Chicks power money.
Yep.
Lil Wayne knows.
Seems like a pretty solid list of things. So then we go to Cersei and the Iron Bank talking and strengthening their alliance. And there's not a whole lot of significance. This is probably just Game of Thrones confirming that the gold was on the way and that it was going to make its way to King's Landing. But then Tom, what is Cersei going to invest that money in?
Well, there's two things. One, Cersei's getting a new army that she's basically going out to get this mercenary army that used to collect on behalf of the Iron Bank, and apparently they're like crazy mad dope, like crazy awesome army, but they're also sellswords, so she's just going to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
They're not loyal to anybody.
right.
Okay.
So yeah, they're not bannermen.
Them Benjamins.
But yeah, apparently they're just known for, you need to pay us to kill this people. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just get that done. But also, the bank kind of foreshadows that they're a little pissed that they got paid because all the people in the bank were collecting interest on this insane amount of debt they had.
Yeah.
And so immediately that Iron Bank Lord, whatever his name is, says, maybe we can talk about something else to fix that. So he's already implying, like, we want you to take out another loan.
Yeah.
We want you in debt to us because even though he wants to be paid, they get money off interest, not off them making their payments.
And we see the first foundations of a credit card.
Boom.
From the
Yes.
medieval Game of Thrones time.
Capital One's going to make an
Please,
appearance next
we'll,
episode.
we'll raise your minimum balance that you can have. We'll raise, or the maximum balance. We'll raise it.
Cashback
Please.
bonus when you buy 20 swords.
By the second army, we'll give you 10% cash back.
That was a nice setup scene, but yeah, nothing really happens in it. So,
The kind of anything in King's Landing kind of took a backseat in this episode.
Yes.
They kind of just set up a bunch of stuff.
Well, the last episode, they gave you a bunch of King's Landing and all the moves that they were making.
Well,
you
yeah.
didn't see any of Euron in this episode either. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's
No,
true.
yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Last episode was just like kind of one for the villains to have their joy. So then they go to the scene of Littlefinger and Bran. Littlefinger gives Bran the Valyrian steel dagger that someone attempted to kill him with, and then Bran drops the Chaos is a ladder line, which, if you don't know, I read more about that line in particular, because the reason why Littlefinger freaks out when Bran says that is because Littlefinger said that to Varys back in Season 1 when they were in the throne room, and it was just another thing that Bran, just like reminiscing about Sansa's rape scene in the last episode.
This was a little more tame, dare I say.
Just a tad more tame, but it was just the fact of...
Hey, I know you got raped.
End.
Scene end.
Sick. What's up, bro? Like, haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me
cool.
know.
Hey, Bran, nice to see you too.
Good to see you.
Yeah. It was just one of those things where it was Bran letting Littlefinger know that, hey, I know everything.
Yeah. But Littlefinger giving the dagger is definitely his way of being like, yo, I know you're about to be Lord of Winterfell because
Yeah, that little
he
asshole.
is the rightful heir, not Jon. And especially
Yeah.
when they figure out Jon's not a Targaryen, then he super duper is the rightful heir of Lord of Winterfell.
Well, Bran's also already said that he doesn't want
right.
Well,
to
that he
rule.
can't
He has-
be.
Yeah, he's
Right.
in no shape.
But
to
someone, I mean, it's kind of like the law of the land. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, whether or not you want it, it's just going to happen. So Littlefinger's definitely plugging his way to be like, yo, I'll scratch your back now. Look at this shiny Valyrian steel dagger. I'm such a good guy, blah, blah, blah. And then Bran drops that, and he's like, oh, I am so screwed because Sansa, I'm not getting anywhere with. Bran's the rightful heir. I'm not anywhere there.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Dude's like in this is in Winterfell, and he's just like struggling to grab whoever he thinks is going to be in power. So
Right.
that's when you see, and we'll talk about this, I'm sure. You see him see Arya for the first time, and he goes, "Oh shit, this is badass bitch. I don't know who to put my loyalty into because for all I know, Arya might just go nuts and kill some people." So I don't know. I was hoping Bran would just give him a old 1-2 to the chin with the Valyrian steel, but I don't
right
know.
away.
I just
Just
can't.
end it.
I was just hoping, like, oh, he's dead now. Finally, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Littlefinger is a snake,
Yeah.
for sure.
The only thing he has is the Knights of the Vale. So they gotta make sure that if they take Littlefinger out, the Knights of the Vale will still be loyal to the Starks.
Yeah, and he knows that the more Starks in Winterfell, the worse it is for him, pretty much.
Yeah.
When they find out.
Yeah, Arya's back, Sansa's there, Bran's there, Jon will eventually be back, and it's like
Rob's there, Ned's there.
in spirit, R.I.P. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rob.
That's it though, right? It's just those 4 Starks.
Yeah, because Rickon's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Rickon is
Well,
dead.
and Jon's not a Stark.
Serpentine.
Yeah, dude, you got a fishtail.
Yeah.
So then we go to the gates of Winterfell, where Arya finally makes her covenant return.
There it is.
And she runs into the two guards. Obviously, we have this funny scene where they're just... Well, I think the biggest significance of this scene was just that punch that he threw.
Yeah.
And Arya just that sick-ass
Just a little
dodge.
swoopsie-daisy out of the way.
Yeah. So then they go back, bring her in at first, and then they go up to Sansa, tell him that Arya's gone, and then Sansa obviously says, I know exactly where she is. And we have the Stark reunion in the crypts of Winterfell.
And let's get your pissed off moment out of the way.
In my notes, no Game of Thrones music is caps a very big deal. And I don't
Like, what were you looking for?
Dude, they did the music with Sansa and Bran's reunion. They did the music with Jon and Sansa's reunion, but they didn't do the music for Sansa and Arya's reunion. And
I
then
think
later
there's a
in the
reason
show,
for that.
Later in the episode, they don't do the reunion, or they don't do the music with the reunion of Arya and Bran. So I mean, do you guys think there's any significance to that? Like
Yes.
they're downplaying
Yes.
the Starks reunion? Like maybe
I think
it's
they're
not a big deal as you
downplaying
thought.
Arya's return because they did it with Jon and Sansa because they have big pieces of power. They are big pieces of this giant puzzle. I think
guess.
Arya is a kind of character where she's a wild card, so to speak. Wild card, bitches! I think she's just like, she has no real claim to any throne. She has no real power. Right. She's just a badass little warrior who is just, her one goal is very clear. She's going to kill everybody on her list.
Yeah.
So when Arya and Sansa meet, Arya sees that as kind of like a, cool, you're my sister, but I have an objective to get to. And that's why you never see like Arya's face. She didn't really smile. At most, Arya gave you like the shit-eating smirk. That was just like I thought she was going to kill
playful
somebody.
smirk.
When they were talking in the crypt, it seems like she was pretty happy.
She was happy, but dude, for some reason, the whole time I was watching that, I had in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Arya's going to stab her.
Yeah.
Arya's going to stab her in the throat. I don't know why, but I'm waiting for that to happen. So I don't know. I think they didn't do any big emotional music for that because her return was just like, it wasn't as significant as the other ones, and Arya didn't see it as significant as like Jon or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there is a reason for that because this show is so amazing. I feel like there's a reason for everything. But that was just my theory.
See, I don't think there's any reason behind it. I think it's just
Fair enough.
filmmaker's choice.
That's just the
It's
way.
just editing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it has to do with like they're doing the music more from the person who's reuniting, because maybe Jon was, how Sansa mentions it in the crypt, how when Jon sees Arya that his heart's going to stop. So like, if they don't bring out the music for that, I'm just going to boycott the show.
Well, and I mean, you like music for the sense that you think it makes a moment like more empowering, but I think from a filmmaker's perspective, you can do the same thing without music
With a lack of
because,
music.
like Ian was saying, okay, so you have Arya and Sansa. For all the last thing we knew was that Arya and Sansa did not get along and they really didn't like each other.
Yeah.
And Arya mentioned that when she was gone. She's like, Sansa's not really my sister. We don't get along, blah, blah, blah. So if you don't have music, it creates that awkward tension of, okay, are they going to be cool or is this not a big deal? Who knows?
That's a good point.
Whereas if you have music that's very empowering, blah, 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 you can't really, it kind of makes it seem like, oh, they're totally okay. But
So are you saying you agree with me? That there is a reason that there was no music?
Maybe.
Outside of the fact that it was just editor's choice?
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
just,
Right.
that's fair.
I present some decent points.
Yeah, that was a good point.
But at the same time, I see what you're saying. Like, maybe the editor was like, dude, I ran out of royalty-free music. I just can't throw this in right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the music just, like, it's Hollywood. Put
Yeah.
music in certain things you don't put in certain. But, yeah, if I were to put my money, I would say that they probably just did it so it creates that sense of, okay, are they actually cool or is this going to be a power struggle?
It's like the last episode where they made the battle at Castle Rock super underwhelming. It's like maybe they did it on purpose because
or when
there wasn't.
John got stabbed.
Oh yeah,
He just sat there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And they could have put a wah, wah, wah at the end of it. And it would have worked. George R.R. used to,
Yeah, sucks, dude.
Comes on the screen.
I told you I would kill him, but he's not going to stay dead for long. They wouldn't let me, so it's whatever.
He would let me. So then it goes to staying at Winterfell, and then they go out to the tree when Sansa tells Arya, "Yeah, Bran's back too."
Hold
But then we made this joke last night. It's
Just a little
like,
thing.
Arya, were you ever raped? Because he might tell you.
might
about
bring
it.
that up. So
Just
you might not want to talk to him.
Be ready for that.
And if you didn't know that you were, you might find out that you were indeed.
Yeah,
We'll just tell you.
Yeah, and then okay, you go through the scene.
Yeah,
And
so
then
Arya and Bran reunion goes out. They Arya Bran says that Cersei's on Arya's list of names, and that was just another thing. Bran seems to have this one tidbit of information that he's telling everybody to let them know that he knows everything.
Yeah.
So, and then I noted this quote, which is a pretty badass from Arya, where Sansa asks who else is left on her list, and she said most of them are dead already. Super badass quote.
Yeah.
But then, most importantly of the scene is that Bran gives Arya the dagger, and then
Right.
obviously, I think we're all in agreeances.
Arya's gonna
Grievance?
take out some.
Agreement.
Can she?
Saudis.
Well, what I want to
Saudis.
know is if she kills a White Walker, can she put their face on?
That is a great question.
Because I don't know, like if she, like, let's say she kills the Night King's right hand man and just whoop,
Yeah.
and then the second he turns around, just
Because you have to, because
Yep.
like you said, she has to kill the person to wear their face, right?
right.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
Yeah, I think.
Oh
that's what
yes.
it's like.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense now. I was thinking back to when she killed the guy that killed Robb Stark. I can't remember his name.
Walder Frey.
Walder Frey, but she wore his face after she killed him
Right.
to
Yeah.
kill the rest of the people there.
Right.
Phrase.
Okay, yeah.
So
makes sense.
if she kills a White Walker and wears his face, I mean,
That would be outrageous.
that'd
Yeah.
be way awesome.
I mean, Bran gave her, but here's my thing.
They should just
and
have
this is the
Arya
only
kill
thing-
Dragon, so then Arya can turn into a dragon.
Anything can happen in Game of Thrones, all right? It's not being written anymore.
Dragon's
It's-
just, what's up,
Yeah,
guys?
I'm Arya, and I'm gonna kill Cersei
I'm
now.
gonna kill
That's
everybody.
what's gonna happen. No, but here's my only thing that I was presenting last night is that, well, listen, Bran, he can tell the past. He can tell you anything that happened in the past. But we haven't established that he can see the future yet.
Well, he can see everything, so he can see everything that's going on in the present.
right.
So he can kind of like,
He knows where the army of the dead are.
yeah,
Okay, so he's essentially saying, I can't do shit with this. Here's Valyrian steel I know kills White Walkers. Arya, you would probably be way better with this.
Yes.
Which then she showed when she fought Brienne. Like,
And
this bitch is badass with the dagger.
Also shows Littlefinger that Bran doesn't give a fuck about him.
No.
Because he's just saying, dude, give me whatever you want.
Yeah.
You mean nothing to me.
I don't
And-
care. Nobody
Little-
means anything to
I
him
just
Yeah,
gave it to
at
yeah.
all,
my sister,
apparently.
who's probably going to kill you.
Yes.
Which is the idea, I think.
And Bran also mentioned Arya's list, which I thought was a good point because then Sansa actually, but when Arya brings it up to Sansa originally, she doesn't believe her.
She laughed.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay.
And then Bran brings it up
Sick.
and she's like, oh,
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 I believe him.
you
I'm a
actually
believer now.
you actually kill people now.
yeah.
And she had a little smirk on her face when she asked who else on the list. So clearly she's
Yeah.
she's down.
Sansa probably thought she was on it.
Yeah, yeah, no
Dude,
shit.
that's what I'm saying. You never know.
So am I on your list? So then we go to back to Dragonstone. Dany and Missandei talking about Grey Worm. Dany's all about them freaky deaky details.
Yeah.
Yes. She wanted all
What
up in
that-
that.
Missandei, what Grey Worm's mouth do?
Yeah, what that mouth do.
What that mouth do?
What that mouth do? Because the only other lover that I had is a dude that I left back in Marine.
Yeah.
And another dude had grayscale.
But now what's she
So-
gonna do? Is she just gonna tag team with Missandei and Grey Worm?
Yeah.
That would be quite an interesting thing. He would
Yeah.
he would have his hands full.
Yeah.
But that sounds like an amazing time.
Yeah, but the only character that doesn't have a member, the only male character that doesn't have his own member is gonna be the one who lays in bed with
two
Dany.
hottest
Hey
on
man,
Sunday.
hey man, I would cut my own dick off to be in the same bed as those two. I'd take it. I don't
Great.
care. It's fine. Sounds good to me. I don't care.
Ian would be an Unsullied in a second.
I would
Dude,
be
join
unsullied
forces.
in a second for Miss Cindy and
Danny.
Danny.
Cut off my
Fair enough.
nipples. Cut off my nutsack. Just
Do what you
whatever
must.
gotta do.
Fair enough.
Do what you must, because Danny's just like, yo, tell me about that stuff. Because
that mouth do?
Jon
What that
Snow over here,
Jon Snow over here. I'm gonna see what his mouth do.
I'm gonna see what that
See
mouth
what that
do.
mouth do.
It's from the north. All right, I don't know what that means, but must be nuts.
That north mouth. Danny and John have the almighty conversation I put here. They go into the cave, obviously. John shows them the children of the forest and the first met hieroglyphics. And then, obviously, they show the common enemy of the White Walkers. And then Danny eventually agrees with John to help him in the north to fight the White Walkers. And then I put in here so much sexual tension.
Yes.
The
you
amount of
think that-
sexual tension in that room is through the roof.
Do you think that this single conversation, not like in the episode in general, but this single conversation with how much the implications had, do you think it was the single like best conversation? Because like as soon
Between
as
those two?
yeah,
No.
like in the show, like
In the
as,
crypts?
as an individual conversation,
Ever?
yeah.
No.
No.
What would be your guys' best?
Dude,
All he was
I
doing was
would-
asking for help, and she was just like, you need to bend the knee.
Well,
Yeah.
he was explaining the entire situation of the White Walkers.
Right.
It's very
convincing the
important.
only person that could help him destroy them.
I mean, it's cool, but dude, like at the entire show, man, there's a lot of
There's some
like,
big conversations
yeah.
that were had.
But I mean, that's a revelation that shows you a foreshadowing of the end of the entire show. Like the idea of
possibly
the White Walkers
maybe.
were the enemy since episode 1, season 1.
yeah.
So it's like,
but I mean, to say that that's just nope, that's it because it's the last episode. I would have to like literally look back through everything and be like, okay, at this point in the show, was this just as important?
yeah,
It might be one of the most significant conversations that John has ever had with anybody because he, to this point, had no real answer to the White Walkers, and he was just accepting the fact that, well, we're probably going to die when
Yeah.
they show up, so I need one of two things, dragons or dragon glass. She has both. So in his eyes, this was the most important conversation he's ever had because it's like, listen, you have the two things
Yeah.
that I need to murder my greatest enemy and the world's greatest enemy that I'm trying to convince everybody is real.
Right.
And you have the tools. So yeah, but in her eyes, she's just looking for another army and group of people to defend her on the throne.
Yeah.
So I think from John's perspective, yeah, it's probably might be up there with one of his most significant conversations. Like, it's all right, dude, you're in the boardroom, you have her attention, time to drop a sales pitch with way better than a Microsoft PowerPoint. It needs to be way better than that.
And I would argue that Bran and his conversations with Three-Eyed Raven would be
yeah.
way more significant.
fair enough.
Because without Bran,
Assuming it happens.
literally, well, no, it already happened.
Yeah, it already happened when he was training with him.
Like when Bran became the Third Eye Raven.
Yeah, when he
'Cause-
fucked up and touched a White Walker
Remember?
and brought him.
Mambi?
Mambi?
Wait,
Mambi
say
the-
that again?
Mambi the
So
White
in
Walkers?
the last couple seasons, Bran has been with the previous Three-Eye Raven, and he's been doing his visions.
Yeah,
Trying to learn all about the world because he's going to become the new Three-Eye Raven.
right.
And then he messed up, touched one of the White Walkers, which gives them the power to go south of the wall. And then they kill the previous Three-Eyed Raven, and Bran escapes. So now he is, but he's not ready. That's why he's such a
Remember Hold
freak.
the Door?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember
no.
that.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just like him getting the power of the Three-Eyed Raven.
No,
I
Well,
didn't
he was
realize.
training that whole
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay.
He was learning to become the Three-Eyed Raven, and that's why he said, "Oh, am I ready?" And he says, "No, but you have to be."
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That would definitely be way up there with one of the more important conversations of the show. And then they leave the cave after they come to that agreement citizens.
Agreementosities,
Agreementosities.
I think.
So then they leave the cave, and Tyrion and Varys confront Dany and tell
Super
them.
happy,
Yeah.
victorious.
Yeah,
Huzzah.
They agree to fight the White Walkers. You're feeling super pumped about what they're doing, and then they just drop another bomb on Dany.
Dude, we took the castle. No big deal.
Yeah.
Sick.
But so Tyrion tells Dany about Castle Rock, how they captured it, but then Euron captured the castle, or at least surrounded it. So then the big thing is that Dany asks Jon for advice, and he provides the greatest response ever.
Oh my God.
And I have in my notes here that Jon's dick has carpet burns.
Carpet burns.
Carpet
From
burns.
the enormous size that it has become and dragging on the floor,
Just
and
flopping
Dany
around.
is dripping from his response.
Yeah, because Dany asks what she should do, and then she says like, "Oh, I'm losing this war. I don't know what I'm doing. Help me out." And then Jon tells him that she could burn cities down, but that wouldn't make her any different from any other previous ruler. And then Tyrion just looks at Jon and says, "Oh my God, you're amazing."
Yeah.
Just
I'll take that. I'll take that and let her run with it,
Just-
which then she did.
Yeah.
Which then she did. So I don't know. I
So
think
Jon goes to convincing Dany of
Yeah.
the White Walkers exist and getting her on his side.
which kind of shows Dany's weakness a little bit because she trusts people way too much. As much as I want her to trust the people that she has, she takes people's advice immediately.
But think about the decisions that she's almost made on her own where people have been like, no, don't do that. Like she was like, screw it. I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
ride this dragon into King's Landing on my own.
Yeah.
Without somebody telling her, you're a dumb bitch.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm just
she
saying,
would have been dead.
I'm just saying that she seeks counsel, like, and trusts them. A lot of characters
Yeah.
very fast.
Well, in the
She's-
books, isn't she like way younger than she's portrayed in the show?
Yeah, yeah.
So like in
They
the
all
books,
are.
I guess that
Yeah.
she's like, 16 or whatever she is. I mean, yeah, she's probably looking for the advice of older people.
Well, and plus there's some situations where she's made a decision on her own and like against the wishes of her advisors, and it's worked out significantly. Like the two times that when she walked out of the Dothraki Khaleesi whatever hut,
yeah.
the second time that she walked out of the burning building, and then the first time that she walked in with the
The
eggs,
wagon.
Yeah.
with the witch. So those were decisions that were against her advisors,
Yeah.
and it definitely worked out because it.
I'm just
obviously got
saying.
the
I'm just
Dothraki on
saying
her
that
side.
someone comes in, tells you about Night King, whatever, and then you immediately include him in all your battle plans, and all of a sudden say, "Hey, by the way, what would you do?" Because guess what? The last time you had a council meeting, someone went to the enemy, told them all your battle plans, and it totally screwed you.
Which have you guys zeroed in on who you think that is at this point?
We already know.
It was Lady Olenna.
Yeah. It was
Oh
like
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, they confirmed
Just making
that,
sure we're on the same page with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the dumb bitch that got rid of all of their plans, and I wanted to murder her. So watching her die was so great.
Pleasant. Yes.
So
Very
wonderful.
pleasant. Hey, fun fact about the dragons. They're asexual. So if those dragons mate, Dany can make more.
Really?
Lock him in a cage.
They don't
get him
have
fucking.
They don't have sexes.
Well, that sounds great.
So just saying.
Maybe,
Fun fact.
or I guess all the spin-offs are prequels anyway, so it wouldn't matter, I guess.
Yeah, but fun fact. Well, I mean, she could make more now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just have a bunch of
Maybe
dragon
that'll,
babies.
maybe that'll come up later on.
Just have a bunch of
just
dragon
saying,
babies.
just saying.
Which is nuts because we only have 3 more episodes in this season alone, and we might not even see season
Boo.
8 until
I don't even want to
2019.
think that's gross.
It's disgusting.
I don't want
That's
to talk
what
about
it is.
that.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. But
Let's not
here,
talk about that.
one more thing I want to say about that scene is that where Dany goes to ask Jon for advice, and
Mm-hmm.
she's just like, all of a sudden, like you were just mentioning, all of a sudden she's just like, hey, this guy that I met a week ago that's been talking about zombies and wants shit that's below my castle. I don't know. But all of a sudden she's like, yo, this guy's really hot. His sword and dick is huge. I want to know. I'm all about him. So, like, it's like if you get a new girlfriend and you're just like, oh, babe, like, you'll do whatever she wants to do. You'll bend to her will.
Puppy love.
So she's in the puppy love stage. She's just like, hey, Jon, you're real hot. Tyrion is just like clearly been screwing up this whole
Friend-zoned.
time.
Well, Tyrion's been
Friend-zoned.
fucking up.
Oh, dude. Tyrion just got friend zoned like a middle school dance. So hard. Oh my god, he's not giving even slow dances to endless love at this point.
So hard.
Jon Snow is all about that Usher, oh yeah, grinding dance. So it's just gonna be
Oddly
think
specific.
Jon Snow's quarterback
Yeah.
Jon Snow's
Big
quarterback.
QB.
of a state back-to-back state
Yeah.
championship. Dylan
Tyrion's
Panthers.
equipment manager.
Yeah. Tyrion's equipment manager. He's handing out water bottles and towels while Jon Snow comes out.
But
and
people
pushes
pick
him
on
out of the way.
Tyrion, and Jon is like, hey, no, he's good.
No, he's cool, dude.
He's
Yeah,
good.
Cool. He's cool.
He's like the bro quarterback. Who's like, hey man, don't make fun of him. He's cool. So he's like
Yeah.
keeping Tyrion part
a
of the
sick
cool
one.
club. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see where Tyrion and Dany's relationship goes because
She's not listening to
Tyrion's-
him anymore.
I wouldn't say completely cut off, but
Yeah.
he's definitely fucked up.
It's interesting because, if I'm putting my money down, I think that they're blowing up Dany and Tyrion's tenacity towards each other,
They're
just
exaggerating
like
it.
just like they did with Jon and Sansa. Because at the beginning, like in the trailers
Yeah.
and stuff, they were trying to make it seem like Jon and Sansa were gonna have all these problems, and they really don't.
Yeah.
They bickered, but Sansa even says, "Oh, you're a good ruler," and then Jon puts her in charge. I think it's the same thing with Dany and Tyrion,
Yeah.
especially because Tyrion hasn't messed up.
I was just gonna say that.
He could have done anything, and they would have
Yeah.
known what they were gonna do.
because
So
Lady
it
Olenna
really-
screwed him
That's
over.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he could have just said,
Yeah, I guess
"Oh,
technically they don't know that.
yeah." So once they figure that out, I mean,
Well, they
it's-
never will. She's dead.
Well,
they might.
maybe
They
they
might.
will.
somehow.
We'll get to it later. But now that they have Jamie,
Yeah.
Yeah, that might come up.
Who found out that she killed Joffrey finally? So that rocked his shit.
yeah.
So he had to
Yeah.
go back and be like, "Yo, it's not Tyrion."
And remember, Tyrion and Jamie, even though Tyrion might be pissed at him, they still have a good relationship.
Yeah.
At some level.
And we saw that
Yeah.
Well, Tyrion and
We
Jaime
saw
haven't seen each other since Tyrion shot Tywin.
right.
on the
right,
shitter.
Right.
Yes, that you ruined.
I did.
Yeah, we
Oh,
referenced
can
that.
we just do a funny anecdote really quick?
Well, we already referenced it.
Earlier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we put your picture center frame as we talked about. how
Oh,
big of a
that's
dick you were.
right.
Yeah.
Big dick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I ruined that.
Shot his dad
like
on the
if there's
toilet. Dude,
any
wasn't that sick?
if there's any show that you just cannot give a spoiler for, this
it's
is
that
the
one. Yeah.
Yeah, and
You
you
did it.
And I did it.
for him.
Congratulations.
Fucking blew it.
So then we go to the next scene of Arya and Brienne training, and I just put Arya's the shit.
Yeah.
And then Littlefinger watches, and I think this is probably the significance of the scene is that Littlefinger watches and horrors. He knows anything he wants to do with Sansa, he'll have to get through Arya, and then especially Arya having the dagger.
Oh, yeah.
and
Right.
Littlefinger seeing that as well.
Yeah. She had both badass swords. His balls shrunk up into his stomach and realized that he had no choice but to try to make BFFs with somebody that wasn't Sansa.
Yeah, and then obviously, and I checked and I fact checked myself, and I made sure that Littlefinger was indeed on the stage when Joffrey gave the order to cut off Ned's head. So that was the last time Arya saw Littlefinger.
Was then.
He
Was
was
then,
on the
yeah.
stage cutting off.
Did
Dan's
we
head.
ever find out for sure if he was on the list?
He's not on the list.
He's
He's not on the list. Okay.
No. I thought he was.
He should be a late addition.
But still,
But people are and
Still nonetheless,
there's a lot of
she-
people that think he will make the list.
yeah, and she, I mean,
She can do it whenever she wants.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just putting him like guilty by association, seeing that. I mean, she
Right.
has all those images of the people on the stage.
She doesn't have remorse.
Yeah, no.
And that's what I'm
whatsoever.
saying. She doesn't. I don't know, man. I feel like Arya, with all the training stuff that's going on, she's just like emotionally dead. And you saw that earlier when she was hugging Sansa. Like she was happy, but she wasn't
Well,
like, I don't know, dude. Joey is my brother. If I didn't see him for like 5 years and I saw him in like the dungeon by
Be a
our
little
dad's,
pumped, yeah.
I'd be like, dude, bro, this is awesome.
Well, and plus they both mentioned it's like they both gone through some serious shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they
So-
all are kind of, except for John. John is still just perfect.
Yeah. John, I mean, John's gone through arguably the most,
Most
shit.
of-
He's
But
gone
just
to
kept
hell and
his-
back.
Yeah.
he's
Literally.
Just kept his cool.
Hobbit's
the entire
Tale
time.
by Jon Snow.
I know, right?
And no
Hell
one
and back again.
no one knows that he died and came back, except for Bran.
Except for
obviously.
Bran.
Which is probably
Bran
going to be
and
Davos.
Well, no, and Davos.
And Davos.
And
yeah.
Tormund.
Who almost told.
Right, I meant in the Stark family.
And
Oh,
Ben.
yeah.
Oh, the big character. and this guy is the Night's Watch. This guy is the Night's Watch. He knows.
Yeah.
So,
Ghost knows.
and we talked about this before. This is a different episode. I just want to be curious for the people. When Danny was, when they were talking about it, like when Davos was talking about it, it's like he took a sword in the heart for his people.
Oh, yeah,
and
they-
he stopped him when he was about to say like he died. And do you think like Danny was like, why do you think he said that? Like, what's
Yeah.
the deal? Do you think that's her like mysterious dude? I just want to know what his deal is, or do you think that's her like, I don't want to know that he died and came back and found out like he was the chosen one from the light,
Well, we
Lord
ta-
of Light or whatever.
We talked about it a little last episode, because they brought it up later on when Tyrion and Dany were talking. They brought it up, the quote again, and I don't know exactly what they'll do with the information, but it'll definitely be curious to see what their reaction is when they actually learn that he came back from the dead.
Yeah, I can't place it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what the significance is, but they definitely talked about it for a purpose because twice they emphasized that specifically.
And
So,
it's definitely not going to be something that they just breeze over.
No.
yeah,
That's for sure.
no way.
And other than that, it just shows that Arya is a complete badass, because Brienne is by all means a significant.
She took out the
badass.
Hound.
Yeah,
she's-
Like that was the thing.
Yeah, and Arya just, I mean, they towards
Dismantled
the
her.
end. I mean, at first Arya like
Just
showed her
owned
up,
it,
but
yeah.
they just had a good battle throughout. So hopefully they keep training, and Arya's just.
yes.
And if you're Sansa, you just got to look down at that and think, hell yeah, I got that on my back.
Yeah.
Protecting my ass.
She's got a lot of finesse, but she needs a little bit more like power swings. Because
Yeah.
we saw how finesse worked for Oberyn.
Yeah.
Or
And-
Oberyn or whatever.
And we were talking about it last night, how when Brienne and Arya were training, Brienne was making those big fucking haymaker swings with the sword. So we were joking, like, if Arya didn't dodge one time,
Just
and
clean
Brienne
cut.
just cuts off her head, just, oh my god!
Oh, are
That
you okay?
that wasn't supposed to happen.
You're okay.
Oh,
I can fix
shit,
this.
Son's in my
I
bed.
can fix this.
She's okay. She's okay. She was supposed to dodge.
Just put it back on.
That would have been quite the curveball there.
Yeah, that would have
been-
been of all the deaths. I would say that would be the least climactic.
Yeah.
There'd be like a 15-second of silence on TV, like what?
Wait,
Is this like bloopers?
And then you hear like throwing up in the background because it's oh my god.
Oh my god!
what did you do? Why?
So then we go back to Dragonstone, and Jon and Missandei and Sir Davos talking. And I just think this was kind of like a mini antidote scene where Missandei explains why they chose Dany as their queen.
Yeah.
And I think
Big
it was
scene.
It was important.
Yeah, and I think it was just to reinforce the fact that Dany is a true queen.
Yes.
And it kind of just, I think it helps Jon's side of things to agree to work with her even more.
Well, and in the last episode, like Jon and Dany their conversations didn't go that well.
Mm-hmm.
I ripped on Dany a little bit more than I did Jon, but Jon doesn't, like, when he came, he did not like Dany. And I don't think that
No.
conversation helped.
Yeah.
And I think this was just kind of getting him to see, listen, she's not just the same.
Yeah.
She isn't just the same shit leader that they've dealt with.
Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah. And it's kind of like drawing parallels between the way that Jon Snow became
Exactly,
King of the North.
yeah.
Like, hey, man, obviously Jon wasn't raped by a Dothraki king, but Jon,
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Bran might know. But
if it did happen,
Brandon
Brandon's gonna
would
let
know.
us
Brandon's
know.
gonna let him know.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're cousins with that blonde chick with dragons, and you got raped when you were
And
like a young
I
kid or
remember
something.
that.
Yeah, don't worry.
I've
Yeah.
seen it. It was weird.
I remember it.
But no, they drew parallels between, hey, Jon was risen up through the ranks, and he was selected as king, and
By the people.
Daenerys was selected as king by the people. So
Song
it's
of
like,
Ice
hey,
and
you
Fire.
guys are similar people. Maybe you should be best friends.
Song of Ice and Fire.
And fuck, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
And then they go to Jon.
This is the only show that you look at incest and go, yeah, all right, well, that's just what happens. That's
Yeah.
the shit that happens in this show.
Yeah.
At least they're aunt and not like brother and sister.
Yeah. At
least not brother
I
and
still don't
sister.
think it's gonna happen.
No,
but
I don't think so either. Because it's
but
like as much as
that
everybody,
would gross me out. But
yeah, as much as they want them to, like everybody watching the show wants them to hook up. It's like, especially as Game of Thrones showrunners, they released that graphic to show that Arya and Jon are related.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are they going to force
Not-
the issue of
you
them?
mean Danny and John?
What did I say? Arya?
Arya.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny and Jon.
I mean,
not Arya.
they're-
Arya and Jon are related.
Kind of.
Yeah, not blood.
Not
but
really, but
Half.
We want to get. That was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Yeah, let's not go down that path. Let's not go down that path.
So then Jon sees a Greyjoy ship come onto the shore, and Jon goes down to confront Theon. And this was funny because
That was such a great moment.
when I first saw the scene, when I first
Ooh,
saw
yeah.
Theon coming on the shore,
He's dead.
Well, at
That's what I
first
thought.
I didn't put two and two together.
my
that,
first thought was, holy shit, he doesn't know that he killed Rob.
Yeah.
Or he like,
that he had to play
like-
a part in the play.
well, no, he does. I should say. My first thought was, holy shit, he hasn't seen him since he figured out that he
Yes.
had to play
Yeah.
part with Rob.
Yeah.
That was my first fucking thought.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
did
it,
not.
it's
put,
over.
I did not put two and two
Yeah.
together. I was just thinking, it was like, oh, Theon came back. I wonder how this is gonna take the story. It's like, oh wait. As soon as I saw like them make that eye contact,
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait,
dude, and what's with Theon being a fucking dick again? The first thing he says, "Hey, John, I didn't know you were here."
Hey,
Like, dude, really? Get on your knees, man. You better
Yeah.
be begging for dear life, because
Yeah.
if you thought what you went through with Ramsay was bad, guess what? You also bailed on your sister, just hopped over
Yeah.
a ship like a little
Yeah,
douche,
like a little pussy.
and now you're about to see John. So you have three people who all just
Yeah.
hated your guts. You escaped one of them, but guess what? John could kill you in literally a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once he starts tapping the rear of Daenerys,
Oh.
he'll just be like, hey, use all those teeth and eat this, guys.
Yeah.
this guy.
Eat
Piece
this guy.
by piece.
I was going to say eat his dick off, but I mean,
Hey,
Ramsay already ate his dick off.
Yeah.
So
Almost literally.
almost literally.
almost literally.
Well, and he said he's going to ask the queen for help to get Yara back.
Yeah.
Hey, Theon, why don't you save her then, you
Spoiler.
douche?
Yeah.
Like,
That was such a great line earlier. He's just like, I tried. And the guy goes, if you tried, you wouldn't be here.
yeah.
So he's a pussy.
Yeah.
He's a pussy.
Screw
And when
me,
Jon
alright.
grabbed him and said, the only reason you're here is because you saved Sansa, because he helped Sansa escape from Ramsay, which is great and all, but it's like, you still killed my brother and fake burned two boys that I thought were my brothers.
Yeah.
And you're a complete
Yeah.
douche.
I mean, obviously John knows that wasn't Rickon.
No, he doesn't.
Well,
Well, yeah, he does, because
'cause he
Rickon
saw
was shot in the
Rickon
back with
die.
an arrow.
yeah.
Oh, right. He doesn't know
Yeah.
his brand. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it wasn't Bran.
Yeah.
He might
Because
know.
he hasn't seen Bran yet.
Yeah.
Right. He might know now, because someone might have been like, because Sansa probably told him.
Oh yeah, because Theon told Sansa.
Right. But we don't
We
know
haven't
for
seen
a
that.
fact.
Yeah, we haven't seen that.
True.
Yeah.
Still, no love lost there.
No, not even close.
So then obviously we go to the final big battle scene where we see Jaime
No one
and
dies.
Bronn.
Super lame.
Yeah.
It's
Nothing
really
happens.
quiet.
Yeah.
Jamie and Bronn are outside Highgarden, and then the Dothraki come over the hill, and as does Drogon and Dany.
And the
and-
gold made it to King's Landing.
Yes, that was one thing that when Drogon sets fire to all the like carriages surrounding the
That was
battle.
all just food.
That was food and resources. I initially thought it was
The gold.
gold, but Tali came out beforehand and confirmed that most of the gold made it to the gates of King's
Not
Landing.
most, all.
Was it all?
All, yeah.
Okay. So all the gold made it to King's Landing, and then the battle starts, and more badass music. I love that they have a specific music, like just it's not like a specific.
Right.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Tone?
No, it's like a piece. It's not a. Yeah, it's not like its own musical number. There we go. Musical number for.
Composition.
There you go.
We can get at the source if you'd like.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So it's not like a specific music compilation for dragons, but like that sound that they make with the drums when she says like Dracarys and that whole thing, it was just so awesome.
Dude.
So just go ahead and splurge on how awesome that battle scene was, because you
Yeah.
finally got to
Oh,
see
man.
dragons like in legit battle.
Dude, when he was flying through and you see him like
The
they
line.
do the slow motion line, dude, it looked like a flying Godzilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
when he goes over the lake and it's like the music goes
Yeah.
quiet, that shit was so badass.
dude, it
Can
was
you?
just
Are you on our
unbelievable.
page now though? That the dragons can take out.
Oh yeah, I'll just make this
Yeah,
perfectly
can we make
clear.
this public, please?
Yeah.
After this scene, as we talked about in the last episode, where Tom and I got into a heated argument about the power that Dany holds with the dragons, I've definitely been convinced that the dragons could literally fuck everything up at any moment.
That was one dragon,
Yeah.
albeit it was the most powerful one, but that was fucking one.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
they know.
3?
Now they know they
Yeah.
have that capability to shoot that type of arrow. So I feel like either Tom and I's theory is that they're going to develop some sick ass armor for Dragon, which would be badass.
Yes.
I don't think they will. That's just me though. But
Yeah.
keep going.
Well, you just think that Dany's going to be smarter from
yes.
now on.
Yeah.
Right.
Which the dragon's gonna come back to Dragonstone, in my opinion, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, what happened?" You know, and it's like, "He got a giant dart in your neck, you dumb shit," and they're gonna have to rip it out, and they're gonna realize, Dany, you can't fly headfirst into a giant crossbow anymore. Serpentine. How many times
Yeah.
do you have to tell the person, wibble wobble?
Yeah. And
Quick-
if you watch the preview for the next episode, we already know that Dragon is fine for now.
Yeah.
For now,
Quick point though. This does mean that Dany can get the Unsullied out though,
Yes.
and bring them back, because what we were saying was we don't know how many Unsullied are in Castle Rock, and we don't really know, but they're safe in there because they can defend the castle. But they took all the resources out, so they basically have to flood them out eventually. But now Dany can just go get them back.
Yeah.
So she really didn't take too big of an L. Like, she definitely did, but it's not too. It's recoverable.
Yeah. And obviously, Dragon got shot, but then he did set ablaze that crossbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he was flying headfirst into that crossbow, I was ready to vomit.
Yeah.
Because
that was a tense moment.
if that dragon got hit and he goes down after you just saw what you just saw, and you want Dany to win so bad, I would have thrown up in my seat if that dragon goes down, and then Dany goes down with it.
Yeah.
Oh, and they both die. I turn off the show, and dude.
Yeah.
Happy tissues are in the room at
Yes.
that point
Sad
because I need
tissues,
to
you mean.
fix it up.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yes. So
I need
you
to
Oh,
make
you-
myself
you-
happy.
having tissues to correct the problem.
Yeah.
Yes, because it could have been tragic, but it wasn't. And I don't know. I thought so. We were talking about earlier how Tyrion and Jaime still have that relationship.
Mhm.
You saw a little bit of it where Tyrion's like, "You dumb ass, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah,
running at her with a
tell him to
spear
flee."
and a
Yeah.
horse." Because we saw Dragon. Because my favorite part was when Dragon lit those dudes on fire, and they just blew away immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned to
Instant
ash.
fire.
Instant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
was
when
amazing.
especially the dudes holding the shields, like they were still in their formation.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they just turned to dust.
It didn't
It's
matter.
like, brace yourselves, and they're like, okay, and then woof.
and then they still have
Close.
the Dothraki know how to fight.
Yeah,
Dude.
So it's like
when they came through that fire,
does
that
ju-
initial
yeah, it
gate
just
fire.
doesn't-
Oh, they all
so
just
bad.
came in and they
Yeah.
just started.
And-
Oh, dude.
also this wasn't the full Lannister army. So
True.
this was just a platoon
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah.
Because they were just escorting all the gold.
yeah.
So this definitely hurts them, but it's not the end of everything.
Here's
But-
my question: how did they know that they were getting the gold out of Highgarden?
Well, I think they had an
I miss
idea
something?
that they were flooding all the resources out, and they knew where they'd be going. Because if I remember correctly, doesn't John say, "Why don't you meet them at Highgarden"?
Oh
I
yes, John did mention Highgarden. I think.
I thought he did.
When this episode?
Yeah.
I thought he did.
I don't remember him
Not in
saying
the crypts.
Highgarden specifically.
Maybe not. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty. That's why I was curious. Like, how did they all of a sudden show up at Highgarden and start murdering and know the gold was there and like this all that stuff? Was she just like, "Where's the nearest Lannister army? I gotta fuck something up and release some stress."
Maybe maybe they noticed that Lady Olenna was the only one, like, because out of their council, I mean, obviously none of the Greyjoys
Well-
and Dorne are gone,
Yeah.
but
Well-
Lady Olenna was the only one that didn't necessarily come back or contact them again.
I mean,
maybe.
well, remember that they knew that the Unsullied army was trapped. So
Right.
whoever told Varys and Tyrion gave them enough information. I bet what happened was Grey Worm sent a raven and said, "Yeah, they were ready."
Yeah.
And they flooded all the resources out.
Oh,
because
okay, that's a good point.
Because the Lannister soldier that was still alive, he's like, "Oh, where are everyone else?" Like, then it pans off to Jaime talking about their plans. Grey Worm could have been getting that out of another soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he sends a raven and says, "Hey, this is what's going to happen. Go meet them there," or
Yeah.
something, you know?
Yeah. I just wish in some instances that Game of Thrones would connect that dot.
Be a little bit more direct. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you mentioned earlier, when Bran, and I was going to say this, when Bran like said, chaos is the ladder, I wish somehow they would have reminded you, hey man, 6 seasons ago there was this one line that he dropped.
They could have done that in the previously on Game of Thrones.
Something like that. Just to like give you a heads up like, hey, this is going to be referenced or something like that. Because I didn't connect that dot right away. So at first you think that's just meaningless dialogue, but obviously it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I usually just go off their facial like reactions. Like if somebody says something and then like even if there's no music.
What the
Littlefinger's face.
If someone
when he says
throws
that.
up after someone says something.
Yeah. That's usually
Chaos
a good
ladder.
indication.
Oh!
I got a hot take for you guys though, because
Okay.
I think this is true actually, and we just talked about this. So the name of the crossbow is a scorpion that takes down Dragon or whatever dragon.
Hits him in the shoulder.
Hits him in the shoulder. There's a theory that because they call it the scorpion, that means that the tip was poisoned. Because obviously scorpions, when they hit you, the stinger doesn't kill you; it's the toxins.
And they've referenced the poison that the Lannisters have quite a bit.
Right. I think that Drogon's gonna die of poison.
Fair enough. That would suck.
That would suck a lot.
Major big donkey balls.
Because he might be back,
Major,
but we just
giant
don't know if
donkey
that's
balls.
gonna like degenerate him over time or what.
Because I mean, if you were to look at the previews,
Poison just works on dragons.
fine.
So he looks 100% fine.
Yeah.
But who knows if it works slowly over time. I hope that's not true.
Right.
Because that would be super weak.
My whole thing is
If like all of a sudden at the end of one
but-
episode they go to like a cave or something.
That's
and
a
it
pretty.
goes just,
I mean, but the thing is, that's a pretty good plot twist.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that's a good tweak where it's like, would I be pumped about it? Obviously, no, that would suck balls. But that's a good, like that would be a really Game of Thronesy thing to do. That would be very, very well done.
yeah.
Well
And we
thought
always
out.
said that if they were going to take out dragons, it would either be the small two or Dragon.
I would probably I don't know. I don't really care to be honest. Like which one I would rather none.
Yeah,
But if they
obviously.
just take like, because I remember I think it was Connor who was saying like, oh, they should only take the 2 little ones or the big one. I'm like, wow, just take 1.
Yeah, that's true.
Not 2.
Yeah, I just hope none of them are gone.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing with that theory is I feel like with Game of Thrones they would have
Referenced it.
foreshadowed it somehow.
Yeah.
like the scientist that Cersei has would have
Like
been
Dragon
like,
is saying
hey,
something.
don't worry, if the Pierce
You'll-
doesn't kill him,
well,
I got something else that will. Like
and-
just something subtle.
My thing is, if Qyburn has another conversation with Cersei next episode,
They
and
might reference that.
and they might say, oh, what happened to the scorpion, and Cersei asks Qyburn about it, and he's like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
because they show a premonition of preview for the next episode of Cersei and Qyburn having a conversation, but the only thing they show is Cersei saying, "We'll do whatever it takes to win."
and they could have a conversation that's 20 minutes long, 30 seconds long, and it could be in any episode. But he could later say, yeah, it's like the deed is done.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be an instance where they just like it shows that you're gonna have to do something a lot better than that to kill a dragon. So I think it might, if anything, shake Cersei, like shake her foundation. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think that they've put the dragons in so much this season and the last seasons like that they're not just gonna kill off.
I mean,
main
dragons
one.
could be in a way a symbol of Game of Thrones. So I feel like, I don't know. I hope they don't do it, but it would be very Game of Thrones-esque if they indeed did take out a dragon and ruin your dreams.
If they did do that, though, I mean, you haven't seen much of the other 2 dragons.
No,
Yeah.
not
So
really.
I would be curious to see how they implement that, how she trains them to let her. I mean, you don't know if she'll be able to ride them.
Tyrion, Jon.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Oh, when you talk about that, like this is in like season 3 when we first, or no, it was like season 5 or 6. We first found out that Jon might be a Targaryen. You're like, oh, dude, I would go full mast if I saw Daenerys ride in with Tyrion and Jon Snow
Yeah.
on the 3 dragons
Riding
in King's
dragons.
Landing. Yeah, I mean,
Hooray!
I would have to change my shorts after
Well,
that.
Multiple
if any dragon dies, then it has to become a White Walker. Otherwise, it's just a waste.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
It has to blow blue fire and have blue
Yeah.
eyes. That would be just
Blue
End
eyes,
of the
white
end of
dragon.
the season, Dragon wakes up with blue eyes,
Yep.
and then it's just like, oh my god,
Oh,
it's
and
happening.
other quick side, I think we all agree that Jaime's still alive.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
think the next episode starts with pulling him,
Him
out
getting
of the
pulled
water.
out. Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. With
Yeah.
Bronn too.
Yep.
Yep.
Because that's who probably saved him.
And that's gonna
No, yeah, it was.
yeah.
Yeah, that got confirmed
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, you can kind of see his hair when they go down in
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Well, who else would it be? You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
So
If it was some random soldier, it'd be
But that is a very huge.
because that just
a lot of
reunion with
leverage.
them two and Tyrion.
Yeah, because Tyrion will definitely bail Bronn out, and
For
Bronn
sure.
probably will be fine
Yeah,
because
he doesn't give a fuck.
But
Yeah.
dude, but So okay, you're
He was
talking
just trying
about
to kill
Bronn
the
will be
dragon,
fine.
'cause-
Dude, he was trying to kill Dany's dragon.
That's-
Tyrion has sworn
They don't know if it was him or not.
Yeah.
that
I don't
shot
know-
the scorpion.
Yeah.
Well,
Do they?
'cause I 'cause
I don't know
had
if
a
they
s-
could like see if she could like see him.
They had a
you know?
scene where
Maybe.
Bronn like was making when she was making that final descent where they shifted to Bronn the camera and she
And
was
then he
like
jumps
making eye
off.
contact. Well, he was like making eye contact when he jumps off right
Yeah.
before because she stops and like
Yeah.
getting ready to. So I think she did see him. I think
Okay.
that'll come up. Him shooting
maybe.
Dragon will come up in that battle between Tyrion,
Yeah.
Dany, and
But
Bronn
like we
to see
said,
Yeah.
what they
Bronn's
do
more
with
of a
him.
sellsword than anything. I think you can win him over
True.
and bring him to Dany's side.
Thing is, though, is
or
that
a
they did
tournament,
have
or a
that
tournament have him go undercover.
Yeah.
maybe, but they had like that moment though where he spilled all his gold, and he ran away from his gold to try to help kill the dragon. So like
I
he said,
think-
"Screw the
Oh,
gold,
yeah.
I'm gonna go do this." So maybe that's like their symbolism of he's a changed man.
But
I don't think
unless he sees Tyrion.
Yeah, and I don't think he was trying to kill the dragon in his support for Lannisters. I think he was trying to kill the dragon like, if I don't kill it, this motherfucker is going to fry me alive.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it for my own personal safety. I don't give
Yeah.
a shit what banner I'm fighting for.
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll see though. I mean, regardless, the captain of Cersei's army is no longer with her,
Yes.
and probably permanently.
yeah, because there's no how does he ever get back?
Yeah.
You don't see.
they're
that
never
that's-
gonna let him go.
No.
They're never gonna let him go. That's such a
No.
huge piece of leverage. Like her brother and lover is now in the arms of her enemy.
Yes.
And not coming back at all. And he's
Right.
only got one good hand. So my thought is Euron makes the swoop. You're going to see a sex scene between Cersei and Euron, and it's going to be awkward, but it's, you know.
Yeah, that could definitely set up the scene for Euron to make a swoop. And they showed in the preview for the next episode Cersei saying, "We'll do whatever it takes to win." And I think that was, if anything, a foreshadow for anything, it's going to be a foreshadow of they have Jaime, but we don't give a shit. We're just going to do whatever it takes to win the war.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There are reactions for Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 4.
But
There you go, man. He's got it. He's got it down. So those are reactions. Now we're going to go to Patreon supporter reactions. And remember, if you want to get on the show, and if you want us to react
You
to
snap
your
face
reactions,
your you tweets to the Insta face.
your hashtagrams are much needed.
not quite.
Oh,
Go to-
damn it.
Come on.
Damn
Patreon.com
millennials and their
The jargon.
/TJENT. And if you donate $1, $2, $5, or $10 or more, you can get your post on the show as long as you post your reaction by Monday around 5:30 or 6, and you'll get yourself on the show. Just like we have 3 Patreon supporter reactions today. First is from Adam Plumstead. He's a
Plumber.
frequent Patreon supporter, and he contributed a topic as well.
What a plum daddy.
great
so
guy.
he says,
Great guy.
great guy.
Of course he is.
Shout out.
Oh, yeah.
In all caps, how do I even begin this reaction?
Yeah.
Bran is a full-blown robot. John and Dany have officially slid into the cave DMs. That's great.
Yes.
Oh wait, quick aside.
Yes.
So you know the patterns they were looking on in the cave. If you remember, I think it was back in Hardhome when they had that huge battle, and then Night King had left that bodies, that circle of bodies. It's the same shape.
Oh,
So you-
really?
So you see that.
And you see it in the first episode of season 1 too.
That's it. That's what I was.
Wow.
thinking about
Oh, okay.
Hardhome. Yeah.
See, that's why I like watching Game of Thrones with other people that pay more attention than me with ADD. I just watch the episode in front of me.
Yeah.
You remember things.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
especially because Tom read the book. So
What a
I
great
would.
channel
and-
this is.
And
what a great channel.
The
I know, right?
tree, the tree that Bran like goes in for
Yeah.
safety that keeps all like the dead out.
Yeah.
When he first gets in there, if you look at it from like the top view, they show you it has the same like
Really?
spiral shape. Yeah.
Hmm.
So just like
There you
random,
go.
Wowee.
totally random, completely irrelevant, doesn't really matter, but cool.
Still cool.
Not random or irrelevant at all. It could be some cool symbolism.
Maybe.
Game of
Game
Thrones.
of Thrones
dude.
just being awesome. Then he goes on to say, Arya showed the North that she is a dual-wielding assassin. Now I got that out of the way. That fucking battle, though. We've been waiting 7 seasons to watch the dragons in battle, and it was worth the wait. And that was my thing. It's because, I mean, yeah, she showed him off in Slaver's Bay at Marine.
But like,
But-
They're just
not-
burning ships.
and they just left.
Yeah.
Like he comes down and she hops on. He fries a few and then leaves.
And that was like more intimidation rather than like a strategic battle. But to
Yeah.
see him actually used in battle to, like, he does something and then the ground soldiers do something, that's pretty awesome.
And
it's a coordinated attack with a dragon involved. It's amazing.
Yeah.
When they got in formation and he fried them to literally ash instantly,
Yeah.
I went from midnight to midnighter.
Midnight.
After that. All right.
I was at midnight the whole time.
Let's keep it straight. All right. Uptuck for like 30 minutes.
And when the Slaver's Bay, the best thing that came out of that was the LeBron James memes during the NBA Finals.
Which was
when he went off.
Oh yeah,
And he put his head on
the dragon with
and then it had all the
Marine.
warriors as the whatever they were called. I can't even remember the warriors, the Sons of the Harpy.
Sons of Harpy.
And he just had him breathing fire on all of them
Yeah.
because it's that clip art where it's just two faces and it's just like LeBron like.
That shit was so funny.
God bless the internet.
Yeah.
And
love
then he
memes.
says, Plumstead says, thank God, from my perspective, that Drogon is alive, and then thank God from Tom's perspective that Bronn is alive.
Yeah.
Then he says, prediction, Dany is going to be power hungry, and Jon will be the only one to calm her down. Tyrion, Jaime, Bronn reunion. I don't know what else, but wow. Yeah, I think maybe Jon or Dany listening to Jon's advice is a foreshadowing of maybe a later decision that comes down to him making advice.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be interesting.
Wait, what now?
Jon giving Dany advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just says that he thinks.
Oh,
that Jon's-
foreshadowing for Jon giving her more advice in the
Yeah,
future.
Yeah.
for
Got
a
it.
bigger decision.
But I don't necessarily think he said, be like the kings before you or whatever, but she still went and murdered a shit ton of people. But
Yeah,
it
but
was
that was-
civilians.
Yeah, they were all soldiers, and that was like
Okay.
strategic. It wasn't, I'm going to
Yeah.
burn cities down.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So then our next Patreon supporter, first time Game of Thrones reaction contributor, I'm pretty sure, 100%, 99% positive.
99.9.
Brad Vanatter, shout out.
What's up?
Says,
Dude.
Salut.
and we mentioned this earlier, Dothraki riding through the dragon flames was the coolest picture the show has ever seen, and that was dope, especially
Yes.
because of how they
Yeah.
did it in slow-mo and everything.
Symbolism,
Dude,
everything
and
that came with
the
it.
pads that they have on their horseback so they can stand up and
Yeah.
then shoot arrows.
Yeah, shoot bow.
Dude.
Even the dude that takes out Bronn's horse with the sickle,
Cut
and
his
he's just
leg
like,
off.
I'm gonna go completely horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have no idea. And then he says, Arya's a total boss, and the whole Stark reunion definitely gave me chills. It was cool to see Bronn back in action, have to choose between his greed or his money for his life. And that was cool. And like we said, I think...
Right,
that-
dude? Mentioned
Right,
it twice. What up,
we
Dad?
did.
So,
We,
dude.
Salut.
I think it was more to show his personal battle between money and
Yeah,
saving his life.
develop him as a character.
Not necessarily his alliance with a
Correct.
house.
I agree.
And I think Drogon was toast when he reloaded. Scary stuff. That whole battle was sick, though.
Yeah. Sick to my stomach.
And what is it with Jon in caves? They must really turn him on.
I told nobody where I was going today.
Or because I want to say, oh yeah, just when he reloaded, when he missed the first time, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
But then
I
he
thought it
started
was over,
reloading. I was
yeah.
like, oh, he's gonna miss the first
Well,
time.
you
and then
knew.
smoke
I
it.
mean, I don't know. He missed the first time, but you knew he was going to take a second shot.
Yeah.
Dude, I was almost more nervous. I don't know. With the way they set up, like, Jaime and all the archers, they had, like, got in formation to, like, shoot him. When they all shot their arrows, at that moment, I think I was more nervous that Daenerys was going to get hit
Yeah.
than Drogon dying at any
Yeah.
point. So, I don't
And
know.
then he just
like,
does the wings and just goes, yep, nothing gets through me.
Yeah.
"Yep, no, I'm good, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
and
even do it."
at first I thought they stuck into his stomach, but no, they bounced
They
off.
literally
bounced
bounced off like
Literally
they were
bounced off.
toothpicks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, maybe Jon just likes it dark and wet, and
John, you mean?
John. What did I say?
You said like Juron.
Juron.
Duran.
Duran.
John and
Geronimo.
John just likes it dark, wet, and a little playful.
He likes to go to Pound Town in that cave. So, and then our
For him.
third
Good
and
for him.
final,
Good for him.
good for him. Third and final Patreon supporter is a repeat for every single week. Shout out to Tanner Stewart, T Stew.
What up,
Heyo.
Keeping it short because my brain has yet to recover. The countdown continues. John gets some Press's cave time. Talks about Dany's boobs with Davos and advises her.
Boy, look at her big heart, have you, John?
So let's say you're looking at her big. I fucking love Davos.
Davos
He
is
says-
the best, dude.
Yeah, I
Or would
hope
you be mad if I
my
switched
chips
sides?
Switch sides. Yeah.
Dude, what a G.
Dude's so awesome. And he says 2 more episodes and he'll be releasing his dragon.
Lol.
Lol.
I guarantee.
Talk
it.
about his dick.
And he said, I guarantee it. He says, I'm definitely piggybacking off of Plumstead's prediction, but John is the only one to ground her from her blood rage.
Do you guys think she's bloodthirsty now?
I don't think so.
I don't
think
think
she's
so
just
either.
frustrated.
Because I think her listening to John and doing that strategic one instead of going to King's Landing shows that she's not.
Yeah, I don't think
She's still composed.
I think she's pissed, obviously, but anyone would be after losing arm.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's gonna just go on some like fire-breathing
I don't think
rampage,
so
almost
either.
literally.
I think like we
I think
said
she's
earlier.
going into the north.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, they
you, think
referenced.
you think Tyrion's going to try to convince her not to?
Yes.
Yes. Because John already mentioned like people from the north don't like people from the south because
Yeah.
anytime that happens, some shit goes down and someone dies.
But when she says that if their king does, I think she was foreshadowing like, hey, if you bang me, and we're like married,
Or bend the knee in front of your people.
if we're married, then they might trust me and you.
See, I don't think that's gonna happen.
You don't think so?
No, because I don't think John and Dany are ever gonna have a romantic relationship.
Fair enough.
Dude.
Well, she
Can we,
said
can we
they're
make a TJE bet right now?
She
Yes,
said,
let's
sure.
do it.
Can we do this?
Yep.
Let's do it.
This is gonna be like a 3-parter though, because there's a lot that goes into this.
Yeah.
I almost guaranteed that there will be a sex scene between
Kit Harington and Amelia Clark.
Kit Harington and Amelia
Johnson.
Clark
Okay. I
touch
will
each
take,
other's private parts.
I will take that bet.
Okay.
What's your?
What's
I
my
think-
my
I think they
wager?
end- I
My
think-
wager is
No,
I
I
don't
was.
know.
I was talking
We'll
to
think
Tom.
of something.
What do
Yeah.
you think, Tom?
What, like between those two?
Yeah.
What she
We'll
was
just
saying
we'll
to
just
him?
we'll just do a general like. What do you think their relationship be when it comes to show end? Ian thinks they'll have a specific sex scene
Yeah. I just think that John's gonna be king of the North and Dany's gonna be queen of the Southern Kingdoms.
because I think they
Or Warden of
mentioned
the
it.
North, I should
Yeah,
say.
they
Yeah.
mentioned it because Dany says that if their king does, so I think it was kind of a foreshadowing of Dany saying, "I'm going to keep you king, and you don't. I mean, as long as you bend the knee, I'll keep you king."
She already said that though at one point. That it was in the first interaction they had where she was like, "I'll make you warden of the North."
Yeah.
But I think
Well, she
he's
said
not
king
interested in
will
that.
be an open rebellion. She did mention that.
Yeah, that's true. I think at one point their sexual tension is going to reach a climax, and they're going to smash out. But then they're going to realize, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this, and
It's weird.
Then they go separate ways. Yeah. Or Bran says that, and then he proceeds to vomit.
Because her saying bend the knee is just her saying literally just bend the fucking knee.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't interpret that as anything other than
Yeah.
just tell me you're the queen and they'll listen to you because you're king. But I don't think they're gonna get married.
I think he'll find out that that she is his aunt before they do anything.
Yes, I agree.
I think Bran tells John that.
And I think
Because I think John's going straight back to the North now.
Yeah, I wonder.
Like next
you think that'll
episode.
happen?
I
You
think
he'll be
next
back
episode he's gonna
yeah,
either.
because he's got to get people to get the dragon glass.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wait, no, he's not. I take that back
Why?
because the preview kind of blew that.
Oh yeah, because they're at
because
Dragonstone.
they're at
talking.
Dragonstone.
But I
talking.
think I don't know if he needs the people mining because it looks like they have. I mean, Dany is providing resources and men for him to do that.
yeah, as long as they have enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I definitely think John's on his way back to the North. So maybe he leaves next season at the end.
The end
yeah.
of next episode.
Yeah.
And the final thing he says, another episode that made me root for the side or both sides of a battle, and he says, "Yes, Bronn. No, Bronn, don't. Oh wait, yes, Bronn, go." Yeah, because when I initially was watching it, and when he saw his gold, and then he stood up, and then when he was seeing walking around in one of those scenes where the
take the
music's
bag
all,
in peace.
yeah,
Yeah.
when all the sound was drowning out, and he was seeing the people on fire, I thought he was gonna be like, "Fuck this, I'm gone."
Yeah.
So, and I thought he was gonna leave, but then he obviously,
And he should have.
yeah, he definitely
He should have bailed.
Yep. But Bronn killing or trying to, or at least hitting a dragon is
Yeah.
impressive enough. And then he finally says, "Arya dual wielding Neil and Valyrian steel. I want some real blood on those blades."
Yeah,
For
agreed.
sure.
And it'll happen.
Yeah.
That's like
coming.
almost a guarantee in due time that's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's
she's
coming.
gonna kill a White Walker.
She's going to kill some people. I mean, they've already shown the Hound in this season. I think he goes down.
Yeah, and this is a third episode in a row where they
Without-
don't show
yeah.
the Hound or the White Walkers.
And was Cersei in this? Yeah, she was. The
Yeah.
Mountain wasn't though.
Correct.
Yes.
So yeah, those are three.
No, you're on.
three-
No Sam.
Yep, no Euron or Sam, but they were in the last episode. But still.
Sam, they don't know my feelings on Sam. I think Sam is a pointless character, and he is done. He has done what he needed to do. He found out there's dragon glass, and now he can just go be a maester.
I mean, hey, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I hate Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still think that Sam has a big
Thank
part
you.
to play.
But thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
But then, also Ian, let's get both sides of this. Ian, what do you think of Cersei?
Oh man, I think she's a great character.
Thank you.
But do you like Cersei?
I love to hate Cersei.
Yeah.
I
Do you,
love
do
to
you
you
hate
think
want,
she's a
Cersei.
great character?
I think she's a phenomenal part of the show. I
here's
think
here's the logic.
she
flaw,
is a
though.
smart, cunning, sexy ass bitch that is being a baller ass queen, an evil queen, but she's a badass.
But
Diplomatically, she's
I've
pretty
never
bad.
I've never disagreed with that. I just hate her as a character because I hate her
As a
she's-
character,
because she's awful.
yeah, he hates her actions.
Yeah.
you hate her action,
And I want her
sure.
dead.
You want her dead?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing her die now. I just like her as a
Eventually.
character.
Yeah, okay.
I've never wanted her to live more than 5 seconds because she sucks and she's an awful person.
She has been from season 1.
And the
She'll die
idea
in
that
due
she's a good
time.
character because she's a good villain, I still don't think she's the best villain because I think that she has been a good diplomat, but she doesn't have like her assets have been so few forever that she's pretty much just relied on her family name this entire time.
Yeah, but now
Like
she's getting
she
gold
relies
back.
on manipulating Jamie. She relies on manipulating Euron. She relies on the Mountain and Qyburn basically making the Mountain her personal bodyguard.
Yeah.
She relied on the Septon. She relied on her kids being royal family and being the true kings and queens. And then she just gets to be queen because of her last name. Like I just think that's like her as a person so shitty, and she's just such a like amoeba that if she just wasn't around, everything would be so much better.
I just think she's.
It's a
needed to-
great argument.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal argument. I have to stand by the fact that I've now seen her boobs, or what we consider to be her boobs, twice. And, she's got a great set, so I think she should be on the show.
That's Ian's classification for Game of Thrones.
Like
If
I would
your
have
nice, then
personally,
I don't understand.
I would have rather had Cersei die first and then Ramsay die at the end of the show, as opposed to
Yikes.
how I think it's gonna go.
Dude,
'Cause I think-
Ramsay might have been the
'cause
most satisfying death of all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the
Is
one
I
Jon
think
did.
Ramsay is the worst villain of them all, and I think that him being the climax of all the we finally get to see the end. It wouldn't make sense in the storyline, but I'm just saying like
When Cersei dies, we have to assume she will.
Well,
I think it's
last-
gonna be. I
well,
think it's
last-
gonna be at the end.
Last question before we move on to our Power Kings that I
Okay.
wanted to get your opinion on. We talked about it a little bit last episode.
Yeah.
What do you think? How do you think the show ends? Do you think Cersei dies first and then they end the show with the battle against the White Walkers, or do you think the White Walkers die first and then they end the show with the battle at King's Landing against Cersei?
White Walkers have got to end it.
You think?
Okay.
I think I think Daenerys gets the Iron Throne, Jon has the North, and once they have everything, my personal
Do you think that's
my
gonna happen
theory was-
first?
My theory was I think she's going to take King's Landing by this season. End of the season, she has King's Landing. It's all over. The Seven Kingdoms are under Dany, and then the whole seventh season is them fighting the White Walkers, and like it's literally a war of the worlds. Like 7 episodes of a White Walker war.
Yeah, fair
Dope.
enough.
Dope.
See, I think it's going to be vice versa. I think they're, especially because Janie. I guess, hey,
You already got a name for him.
yeah, there we go. Especially because Dany agreed to help Jon fight in the North. I think that's what they commit to. And I don't even know, I wouldn't even go as far as to say that they end that conflict this season. I think that can maybe go halfway to next, and then the last few episodes are the Battle of King's Landing. I don't think they necessarily have to seclude and end a storyline at the end of this season.
See, but I don't think the King's Landing battle is going to last that long. She's got 3. As of right now, we're going with what we know. She's got 3 dragons,
And
and
the
she's
Iron
got
Banks
the
support.
Iron. Well, yeah, the Iron Bank.
But that's. I mean, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We've already saw what one dragon can do.
Let alone all
And
of
she
our.
blew up
matters-
all of her
it matter-
wildfire.
I mean, it matters to a certain extent because
She blew up all of her wildfire.
But this is
all
this
these-
is like the exact argument we were having last time. This is just Cersei prolonging the inevitable.
Yes.
3 dragons, an Unsullied army, a Dothraki army, whatever else she can get along the way.
Now Jon's
plus
army.
all the North,
yeah,
Yeah.
fair
or
enough.
die by the White Walkers. Your choice.
Yeah. There's many ways to die in the Game
Or
of Thrones.
twist.
Or Arya, or
Twist.
Jamie, or whoever.
Cersei doesn't die. She doesn't relinquish. Well, I want to say she relinquishes the throne,
You could go with my prediction,
and then
say that
everyone fights the White Walkers.
Cersei is
Lannister army, everybody.
Cersei and the Night King and the show on the thrones.
They end the show.
That would be pretty wild.
Cersei marries the Night King. So
We
there you go.
talk too much about Cersei every episode.
Yeah, it happens. What do you? I mean, she's a main character. What can you do?
What do you want?
It's one of the big 3.
I want her to die. That's very clear.
Fair enough. I think we've. I think
But we just debate about Cersei and like what she's gonna do. Blah blah blah. as
No one
opposed to-
knows. No one knows what that bitch is gonna do.
true.
Yeah,
She
I agree.
blew up everybody.
But you know who else is cool? Everybody else in that show besides Cersei.
There you go. So after those, thank you as always to
Yeah.
our Patreon supporter reactions. And if they go, Ian, where do they go?
Patreon supporters.
Yep. Where do people go if they want to get their
Ooh,
reactions on
wait.
the show?
Phone a friend.
If they want to put their reaction on the show, they go to the Patreon support page and they put in the comments.
What's the website?
It is
You got to know the URL.
Wait.
patreon.com/TJENT.
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah, nice,
There we
nice.
go.
See that?
Didn't even need to phone a friend.
See
Yeah,
that? I didn't even
there
need
you
to phone
go.
a friend. Or check the
It took me a
audience.
couple.
Yeah. Tom
Our friends at AT&T.
Tom had it so well he said BENT.
Yeah,
instead of
BNT.
TJENT.
TJ
Bent.
ENT
Bent the knee.
Patreon support, please.
No matter what tier you're donating to us on, you can get your reactions on the show if you post by Monday on patreon.com/TJENT.
Be reasonable.
finally, we're gonna go through our coveted Game of Thrones season 7 power rankings.
Real quick, are we gonna make these so they have to have been shown in the last episode at least once?
I don't think so.
Because I've done that every single time.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, we can go with that. Why not?
Because
Damn it.
I mean, we don't
You know
have
what?
to.
No, I'm going off my same ones.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Since I'm new, you play by your rules. I'm a
Yeah,
wild card.
That's fine.
Well, let's just you develop your power rankings however you wish.
yeah.
Okay.
I was just saying that's how I did mine. I don't know if you guys want to do that too, cool. But if not, whatever.
That's not how I did mine.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
That's fine.
Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go 5s all the way down, 4s all the way down, 3s. We'll
Sure.
just do it that way.
Okay.
All right.
So my number 5 is Bran, because I think he is a vegetable. He's a computerized vegetable, but he,
He's a damn smart cucumber, though.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a smart cookie.
Oh, yeah.
and I think him giving the dagger to Arya, and I think even though, like I said, he's a vegetable, he definitely he can still have a constructive conversation with someone that's not all surrounded by three-eyed raven talk. So
Dude, when he excused that girl out of his room, that was like sad.
yeah,
That was like legitimately
yeah.
sad.
And I'm
Like,
still
this bitch has
I'm still
drug you
blanking on
around.
her name.
Yeah. I don't
But
remember.
it was just one of those random.
Did we even
like,
talk about that scene? We might have just whiffed that one.
I
I-
think I
Whatever.
yeah. But it,
We
I mean, it
whiffed
was
it.
just I think the only significance of it was Bran showing more that he was just not
a
Bran
robot.
anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally said those words.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of getting his general I know everything feeling around Winterfell, and he's doing it in a decent way, and especially the way he confronted Littlefinger like that and said that quote. That's why he's number 5.
Okay.
Word.
My number 5 is Tyrion.
Okay.
Only because
Hey.
Tyrion used to be way higher for me, because I thought that him, like, being the right hand to a badass mother of dragons, breaker of chains, all that stuff, leader of the Unsullied, blah, 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 blah.
the
Unbent.
the breaker of
chains.
chains.
Just call her super hot
The mother
blonde chick
of
with
dragons.
a badass braid on the back of her head. Like,
Yeah.
that is some sexy hair.
Yeah. She's
Either way,
glowing this season.
Tyrion has dropped to me to 5.
Some sexy hair.
She's got some sexy hair, man.
Unbent.
The unbent.
The unbent.
So yeah.
The breaker of chains.
Davos is
He
his
fell.
John.
This is John.
He likes long walks on the beach.
Here's John behind door number 1.
Hello.
No.
the Beatles
Tyrion.
and was killed once they're brought back to life.
Oh,
Danny,
I was
what do you want
supposed
to
say
ask John?
Ian, your reasoning for Tyrion.
It's just his plan doesn't look very good, and Daenerys went from him to Jon Snow, and so he's falling in the power rankings.
Yeah,
That's literally the only reason why he dropped. For me.
Diplomatically, he's not doing too hot.
Correct.
Yes.
Tom,
5.
5.
Big Daddy. Bronn.
Bron, nice.
Back in action.
Okay.
I love Bronn.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So-
definitely one of those guys that fights for the bad side, but it's like,
I can't hate him.
yeah, how can you not like him?
He's
Yeah.
and I will say this honestly, I think from everyone I've talked to, I think he's the least polarizing character I can think of, because I don't know anyone that doesn't like him.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I know a lot of people that don't like Danny. I'm sure there's a ton of people that don't like John just because he's like the most popular character. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people hate Cersei. Tyrion, I don't know. Tyrion might be up there too
Maybe
for
like
likable
one, like
likability.
in the same realm, maybe like Pod or like Brienne or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So my number 5, speaking
4.
of, my
4.
Oh yeah, my number 4. Speaking of, is Bronn.
Nice.
Because I think I just moved a little bit more higher up, because although I hated that he hit Dragon, the fact that he was able to hit him and
Impressive.
get out safely and then save Jamie, it's pretty damn impressive, and you deserve to be on my number 4.
If
you can do
he
that.
killed the dragon, I wouldn't even hate him as a character because I'd just be like, dude, I mean, you're fighting.
You're just doing.
Just
you're
kill
not-
the dragon.
You're trying not to get your ass fried.
Yeah.
If he killed a dragon, it was higher. I would hate to put him higher in the power rankings, but I would.
Yeah. So Ian,
My number 4 is Cersei. And
Okay.
the only reason I have Cersei up there is because normally she is in my top 3, because I think she's a complete and total
wait,
badass.
say your name again.
Cersei?
Seriously? Is that how you say it?
Seriously?
Is it
Seriously, you're asking me?
Cersei?
Cersei.
Cersei?
Cersei.
Cersei?
Fair enough.
Cersei.
I was just curious.
Cersei.
Cersei.
Sarsi.
Sars-
Sars.
SARS.
The unbent.
Cersei only because she just got all her money, so she's gonna buy a badass army,
Yes.
and she still has King's Landing completely in her power.
Yeah.
And to our knowledge, she's gonna get Castle Rock back, and she still has Euron on all those ships. So
Wait, Castle Rock back.
She was in this episode too. I don't know.
she, to our knowledge, Euron's gonna storm in Castle Rock to a cornered Unsullied army.
Well, they just took out all the stuff. Or
All
I
the
guess they were at
ships.
High Garden, so yeah. That could happen. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We don't know.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
we don't know, but you're fucking wrong.
Well, just because I only say that because like Tyrion, when he was like talking through the battle, was
Yeah.
like they were talking about how the castle's impenetrable, and Tyrion was the only one who knew how to break it from the
Oh,
inside.
yeah, the sewers.
So like, why would they let them take this impenetrable castle?
Yeah.
You know. So that
Fair
when
enough.
Jaime was saying like, oh, to be honest, we don't really care about Casterly. I think that was him saying like, all right, we'll flood you out. That's why I think they stripped the resources because they have to leave.
Yeah.
And I think
So they'll-
Dany takes her dragons and
And just it just saves them.
fucks Euron.
Okay.
So I guess that kind of bones my big bold prediction because I thought last week I said that Euron was going to uncover the crossbow on one of the boats.
They
But-
might have one.
Yeah, they
you know.
might have another one. As far as we know, there's more of them.
I just figured that every army, like, I don't know. I guess I didn't have a prediction for where it was, but it's gone now.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. One of them's gone for
It
sure.
got incinerated.
yeah.
So
She gone.
Tom, number 4.
number 4 is Arya.
Arya.
Arya Stark.
Arya Stark.
Arya
Because she's
Stark.
dope. I mean,
She is dope.
there's no.
badass.
I don't need much of an explanation other than she's got Needle. She's got whatever she's gonna name her
Valyrian
dagger.
steel
And
now.
I would just love to see her kill a White Walker, put on that face dough.
Yeah,
And-
that would be quite a story.
And that would be again another good plot twist that I think makes sense enough where it's Game of Thronesy
very Game
and
of Thrones-esque.
and it's just it's cool.
And this is not a joke. Speaking of my number
like it.
3 is Arya.
Arya.
And it's the same reasons, especially the way that she trained with Brienne and kind of showed off in front of Littlefinger. I just think it was real dope. And then her badass quotes, with most of them are dead already. Just quotes, music, and that's really all you got to do to get on my power rankings.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Dope.
good to me.
All right, Ian, number 3.
Trey is Sir Gregor Clegane.
The Mountain.
Ooh,
Whoa.
only because he is a complete
So-
and total war machine.
It's the first
And
sighting on our power rankings.
anybody below him, he would probably murder. And if I'm being completely honest, you guys talk about how awesome the dragons are and how bad you want to see them in battle.
The mountain's
last
pretty
time we
cool,
saw the
yeah.
mountain do anything, he snapped someone's skull like a
bounced
freaking
him
water
off.
balloon.
Yeah,
Bounced him off the wall.
Yeah, just snapped him off the wall. So Gregor Clegane's number 3 on my power rankings, only because he would probably fuck up anybody below that isn't a dragon.
Yes.
He probably everyone except the dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason he's not number 1 or number 2 is because I think my number 1 and number 2 are the only people that might have a chance against him.
Can you,
We'll find out.
can you imagine like they do that scene where the mountain runs out and he's just like, and the drone's just like
just instantly.
right in front of Cersei, he just turns to dust. Just
Oh, okay.
Um,
Or he carries the scorpion bow on his back
yeah.
and then
It was-
fires.
Or they shoot him as the scorpion bow, as the arrow. With the sword.
Danny's like, what the?
Yeah, that's not a bow.
Just lands. Just
oh, that'd be hilarious.
Mountain number 3.
all right, yeah. Mount number 3.
Great character.
Moving on.
First sighting on the Game of Thrones power
Gregor
rankings.
Clegane.
So
man.
that was the one that was. I thought you were gonna say Cersei wasn't in this episode, and that was why I fucked you. But it was the mountain.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Mountain. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. Tom, numero trace.
Big Daddy Bran, because
Bran the
Bran Stark.
Huere man.
he's going.
I've gone
Quite Huere. He's like being pushed around the wheelchair the whole time.
The
Just
wheelchair
like,
is huge too.
Dude,
Dude.
I mean, he could just warg into someone that's huge. He could just warg into the mountain, and then boom.
Whoa, there's another thing. What if he wargs into a dragon or something?
Or yes,
So
He
when
can.
he wargs, does he control them?
Yeah, he
Yes.
controlled Hodor, remember?
yeah.
How is that not a bigger play?
We
in
talked
these
about
Oh
before,
yeah,
Arya?
yeah.
Because
Trust
they
me.
need to show more of Bran's story. Because like they
Yeah.
just showed him at the wall in
Yeah.
episode 1,
Yeah.
and then showed him at
Because
Winterfell.
Bran's using his
Nothing.
abilities to have visions
Mhm.
and learn more, and he's sending ravens to find out where armies are. So he knows where the army of the dead are because he's literally just warging into a raven and just being like, "Yep, I
And
know
they showed
where
that in
is."
a preview of the last episode.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
the next episode. I mean.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Perfect.
but
Nice.
still,
Big Daddy Bran.
Yep.
Okay.
And when Tom and I first watched this episode, we agreed that our 2 and 1 would probably be the same,
yes.
but maybe the configuration of the 2 and 1 might be different.
Okay.
Number 2 for me is John,
yeah.
Okay.
It's inverted. I already know what the other one is.
Yeah.
And yes.
because
So then
You
looks
are
like I
correct.
agree with Joey.
yeah, John, he's number 2.
So you're going John Danny, Ian. You're going John Danny,
Yes.
and I'm going Danny John.
Okay,
Yes.
we all know the.
So let's
ones-
just discuss
we
our
all-
top 2.
Yeah,
Okay, we
yeah.
all
I
know
figured
what the
that's where I
ones
was
and
gonna
twos
go.
then.
Anyway.
Okay.
So.
John, the only reason why he's behind Danny for me is because just the way the episode ends. If you take your dragon and if you're riding and you
Yeah,
scorch
you flex on
everything,
everybody, yeah.
you deserve to be number 1 in my power rankings. And just
Yep.
John is number 2. I think he was either 3 or 4 on my power rankings last week, but he's number 2 because if John would have rode dragons and set people on fire, he would have been number 1 too. But
Yeah.
the fact that he explained the whole entire situation and got Danny on his side through the cave DMs.
That was really funny.
Slip into her DMs.
That
I
was
like
great.
that.
That's why he's number 2, just because John actually showed his diplomatic skills and what I ripped on him last week.
And
having
she's
lack
listening
of.
to him.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely now more than ever.
And he made good advice. Made good advice, gave good advice.
There you go.
Not made advice.
And my rankings are the same, only 2-1 John, Danny, only because of what exactly he said. Like, Danny flew in, controlled a Dothraki army that she pretty much made herself, and the dragons that she obviously birthed herself, and murdered all of these people, and did a phenomenal job at leading this army. And then John is number 2 only because he didn't kill anybody yet.
Yeah.
But he busted out he's got rug burns on his dick.
Yeah.
Because he dragged it on the floor of the cave when he pretty much said, I need your help, and you're going to give it to me, and then you're going to listen to me when I tell you how to do war.
And then Danny gave him one of those, I'm going to step towards you, and we're just going to get very close to my face.
Yeah, they're going to touch nips, and it was great.
So, John,
Is that how they do it these days?
Yeah, they do one of these, and then they circle around to give him
John's
rubs.
perfect in every way. I think we've established that since
Yeah.
the very first episode.
Yeah. Is this 4 weeks running where John's numero uno?
On mine?
Yeah.
Dude, he will never not be number 1.
All right, fair
Like,
enough.
unless he dies.
Yeah, that's true.
Which he still
Which
might
he
be
did.
number 1.
Did you cry when he died?
When he no
First died?
no, because I knew he was coming back.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, in the books he dies and wargs into Ghost. So I mean, my theory was they were gonna have to murder Ghost to put his spirit back into his body. So the Red Woman's gonna do that.
Another thing we haven't seen all season is Ghost, which is dumb.
Yes.
Just lame. Should see him next episode. So there you have it, everybody. There are reactions to Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 4, Dragon's Blood, or Fire and Blood with
Fire and Blood.
Fire and Blood.
War
something
of
like that.
Fire and Blood.
Something like that.
That's it.
Dragons.
Dragons, Blood, Fire.
Dragons, seriously.
Unbent.
The unbent. The breaker of chains. There are reactions. There are
People need to meme that, please.
There are Patreon supporter reactions and our Game of Thrones Season 7 power rankings.
Yes.
So there you go. Ian, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks, dog.
Oh, hey, no problem. Love to be here. You'll probably see some more of me pretty soon.
You very foreshadowing Game of Thrones style.
No, that's right.
There you go.
So.
Let us know your reactions on patreon.com/TJENT. And until that time, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.